In the shadow of the closed-down steelworks, Kingswood must cope with Corby's reputation as an unemployment black spot. In fact, the Youth Opportunities programmes have almost completely disguised the bleak employment prospects, and few of Kingswood's pupils leave without at least temporary work.
Why school leavers fall at the first hurdle. Over-anxious school leavers chasing all too scarce job vacancies often fall at the first hurdle, the interview. Now, what I want us to do, we've talked a lot about how to dress for interviews and how to present yourself and that sort of thing. What I want you to do is to pretend that in the post this morning you've got a letter for an interview, and then as ideas come...
Kingswood's head of careers, Bert Webb, constantly monitors his pupils' prospects.
Obviously the current situation depresses me, but I can't let them know that. And I know the 4th and 5th years well, because I get to know them very well, and when you've taught kids for 2 years, up to the time they leave school, you can get very involved. And I find it very, very sad when kids leave here, and I know that many of them are not going to get the jobs they want, or jobs at all in some cases, but I can't let them know that. I've got to be breezy, full of life, because once I let my morale drop, then theirs will as well. And I think they must leave here with some hope, at least. For doing the right thing in the right way. I'm annoyed at the waste of potential. People leaving here with CSEs and O-levels, very often much better qualifications than their brothers and sisters got. And they are getting less important jobs than their brothers and sisters, in some cases no jobs at all. And they're looking at their elder brother, perhaps 5 years older, and saying, well, he got an apprenticeship and he only had 2 CSEs. I've got a couple of CSE grade 1s and 2 O-levels and I haven't got one. What's gone wrong? And it is a waste. If there is anything you want to know about the Army that you haven't found out at 2:15, then you are the only people to blame. They're here to provide you with information. If you want information, then ask. And one way of making visitors welcome is to ask questions and find out as much as you can. OK, they're all yours.
Thank you very much. Right, what I'm going to talk about basically this afternoon is the junior army. You are, I assume, something like 14, 15 years of age, and I'm assuming that you will not be due to leave school until next year. And at the moment, it is a very much a thing that it is not easy to get into. It is very much up to you, if you are interested and if you are desirous of having a career in the Army, of selling yourself to us. It is very much a competitive market. How you can sell yourselves to us, I don't know. I can't tell you. But all I would suggest and say at this stage to you is that the more positive you are, the more positive thinking you are, the more you have to offer by being a chap a little above the normal in a lot of ways, then your chances are the greater.
I can't preach politics to kids, that's not my job. But I do know of 1 or 2 kids who have gone into the services as a consolation prize, as an insurance policy almost, against failure elsewhere. That saddens me.
That every one of you needs to have done things like that.
A lot of these kids, their fathers particularly say to them, well, join the Army, son, the Army takes anybody. Which, of course, isn't true now, but it was in Dad's day, and it was 6, 7 years ago. So they say, well, I'll apply to join the Army, at least I've got something. And then I'll look around and see if I can get something a little better. That's what I find sad, that they're lowering their sights, because they have to.
We leave school, that's the end of it, the last of reports.
To avoid the employment issue, more and more children stay on at school. Matthew Sullivan stayed on. He's now 18, but his sixth form work may not enhance his prospects.
Look, you want to work with me, right?
Yeah.
And we know what it's about. It's because basically the sixth form hasn't turned out as you wanted it to, has it? No. And you're not really going to get to University Polytechnic, you realise that now, OK? So what you want to do is to work. Well, I'm not the expert on where the jobs are and that sort of thing. But what I've done, I've arranged an appointment with you, 9 o'clock Thursday morning, Mrs. Bradshaw, the careers office. Okay?
That's superb.
Yeah.
Great.
Now, she interviewed you at fifth form level, so you know her, all right? I've phoned her, I've had a word with you about you, so she knows what the score is, OK? Now, physics is your thing, isn't it?
I stand a chance of passing that if I work out.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that does concern me is that the amount of... I mean, one of your problems, really, one of the reasons why you've made such a, well, balls up, really, of the sixth form situation, is that your social life's been too active, hasn't it?
I'm just a musician, that's
all right, yeah, but I mean, that has been too important and your work hasn't. So, But yeah, A-level physics is still vital. Because it's a very, very useful tool still. So go along there with some sort of humility. Tell her the truth. Because I've told her the truth, right? I mean, if you don't tell her the truth, there's no point. So tell her the truth. Tell her what's happened and that you have underachieved and so on. I mean, because your potential is much higher than your examination results are going to be, and that's the important thing. Right? Smashing.
Thanks a lot, then.
Okay.
Great stuff.
Yeah, let me know how you get on.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
A-level maths. Revision. Though not expecting success, Matthew is taking 3 A-levels: maths, physics and chemistry.
Well, my mother wanted me to go to university. 2 years ago, I thought, that's good. I'll go to university. My father didn't say anything. I think he wanted me to go into an apprenticeship, a proper job, as it were, at 16. But I went into the sixth form, and all was going well. But for a while, when things started getting on top of me, work, behind schedule, probably because of too much mucking about, but not all the time. Mother got upset because eventually I decided I didn't want to go to university. I should have really left when I was 16 with my good O-level results.
Yvette Graham is also taking A-level maths, physics and chemistry, but she has a specific ambition, to be a doctor.
I think initially I wanted to be a nurse. That's because I always associate the females with the nurses and the males with the doctors. When I go in to be a doctor, I don't think I could say now what I'd like to be, if you mean from then on. Working with children and, say, the first year at Kingswood and in the remedial department, paediatrics appeals to me at the moment, but I dare say when I get in there, there's neurology that I've never done before, anatomy, anything, really. It's such a large range once you go in there. I couldn't actually say now what I want to do then.
Yvette will need to pass all 3 A-levels if she's to go to medical school. Colin Aldred is taking an unconventional combination of A-levels: maths, English literature and art. He too has a specific job in mind.
I'd quite like the idea of becoming an art teacher, but at the moment I'm sort of really interested in doing the degree course. The last 2 years at school I've enjoyed a lot, and if it carries on like that in the foundation year and the degree, it'll be great.
A-level physics revision. If Matthew's last years at Kingswood are to have any obvious purpose, he must obtain at least 1 A-level pass.
I stand a chance of passing physics if I work, pull my finger out. But as far as maths and chemistry are concerned, I've sort of virtually in my own mind written them off.
Why?
The subjects I finding them too untangible, too abstract. I can't actually make myself do something I don't enjoy doing.
Every A-level candidate has an academic tutor. Matthew's is Deputy Head David Bates.
I think his basic problem, he may disagree, is that he never really adapted to the demands of A-level. He is intelligent, he is sharp, but that's not enough for A-level. It demands a great deal of work at home and research and following up on set topics, reading in and around the subject. And in our opinion, I don't think Matthew ever really took that on.
Well, I haven't been the hardest worker in the sixth form, but I think people tend to exaggerate at some of the things they call me. Sort of idle burger. Yeah, they're always saying, you're at bone idle, never doing any work. But I do work. It's just I don't work a lot.
It's certainly a failure from our point of view, in that I think that we failed as much as he may. I say may. He was, without doubt, when he entered the sixth form, a candidate who could have got 3 very creditable passes in maths, physics and chemistry. You know, his subject staff still say that about him. I don't think Matthew believes that. And, I mean, that's open to debate. I mean, Matthew may well be right. But I don't think Matthew believes he could have passed maths at all. But the subject staff certainly do. So certainly I would say that we fail there, one way or another, to motivate him.
I don't think they could have done more. I think, really, you know, the problem is in me. If it's a problem, it's not from my point of view.
A-level chemistry revision.
Considering what's coming along for you next Tuesday...
Yvette Graham has already been for interview at several medical schools.
I had 3 offers. You apply for 5 places, I had the 3 offers. The first interview I had was at St Thomas's in London. That was December of last year. And 3 days after I'd been to the interview, I got an offer of a B and 2 Cs.
Is that definite for this? Yes, but is that definitely... Is chloride the only thing that will give a white precipitate in silver ions? What's special about silver chloride? If it is silver chloride, it's not going to do it today because it's not bright enough, is it? It should go purple in bright sunlight.
Final revision periods are vital. Yvette cannot just pass her A-levels, she must obtain specific grades if she's to succeed. Her academic tutor is Head of Science Graham Wells.
She needs a B and 2 Cs, and it doesn't matter which she gets her B in, which is a very good offer from St Thomas's. I think she's very lucky to get that. They evidently liked her, but we'd worked quite hard on her interview technique. And I think they see, as we do, that she has a lot of potential and has the right sort of mature personality to make a good doctor. She certainly worked jolly hard when she gets there. By keeping tabs on her regularly, not just in an academic tutor period, but also I try to find out how things are going at home as well, whether she's got any undue pressure on her there. Well, I think the pressure that comes basically from Mother, who wants her to do very well.
Good night, actually. It was a lovely night. We had a better time than you did.
Yeah, she's very keen for me to go through. I mean, she would leave it up to me, what I wanted to do. She would like me to go to university, I could say that. Because I'll be the only ones now of her daughters to go. I think she'd like one to go out of the 5.
Lisa and Cara on an adventure holiday.
Much of the final revision work must be done at home. But Yvette's home is not as conventional as it seems.
One in the spare room, isn't it?
As you say, my father died when I was 4, but that didn't really affect me because I was only 4. That's not meant to sound hard. It didn't affect me that my father died. But I was only 4 and I don't remember much about him.
That's why I won't drink as much as I did last night.
I knew you were worried about it. You never said.
She doesn't get on with her stepfather. She openly admits that and has very little to do with him, therefore. I think it's true to say that Yvette has the ability to do very well. I'm not terribly sure as to how much pressure, though, that she can take. Yvette's sensitive, and I'm not sure that many people realise that she's a sensitive creature.
I like to keep too much to myself. I don't like to say, oh, I've got this problem and that problem. If I get my A-levels because of me, if I fail them because of me, I wouldn't blame it on any home situation. Because I think I should be able to block myself off any part.
A-level art.
And then try your board propped up behind, so you can use that texture on the board and that pattern in the same way as you used your Venetian blinds on your milk bottle one.
Yeah.
Perhaps think about putting...
You want it up that way, wouldn't you?
Yes.
The lines
yes.
that way
So
behind.
yes.
What about the scale too?
Yes, I don't know. I mean, scales are nice here, but I don't know whether they're actually needed in that composition, are they?
Because as well. I've only got 14 hours.
And you haven't actually developed your scales to the same point as you've developed your bag and your bowl.
The scales were at school.
You've just done sort of realistic paintings of it. What about your rolling pin? You'd be better using that as your horizontal instead of putting it off as an angle. Because you won't have that horizontal in, will you? Because you're using that propped up.
Yeah.
So you could use your rolling pin coming across as your horizontal through to finish off your triangle almost.
Before going to art school, Colin Aldred must spend a foundation year in a college of further education. For that, he's already placed at Nen College, Northampton, whatever his A-level results. His academic tutor is head of art, Jill Wyke.
No worries at all. I would hope that he would get an A. I'd be surprised if he got anything less than a B. I think he deserves an A from what he's got, certainly.
And what about his other A-levels? Are they of any importance, really?
Well, in that he could have got in at art school without them. They're of no importance. But in fact, they are. His maths particularly is very important, and also English. I mean, it means that wherever he wants to go from his year at Nen, he will have no problems because he's got that behind him. And they're such very important subjects that any college would sort of jump at somebody who's got that sort of academic background.
Although Colin's foundation course is fixed, A-level results will affect which art school he may attend for his degree course.
Well, since I got my place for next year on the foundation course, it's just taken a lot of pressure off. If I failed all my A-levels, I'd still get a place on the course. I want to get my other exams, but I'm not particularly concerned about grades or anything.
I've never felt the need to push Colin because he is very well self-motivated. He's never needed really pushing. But it's been a bit disconcerting in a way because normally with somebody who's all set on art school and that sort of career, you feel you've got to put the damper on them a bit because they get these really wild ideas about what they've got to do and they want to run before they can walk and they want to go straight to the Royal College or Slade or something and they want to leave out Nen. But with Colin, it's had to be almost the opposite. In fact, I've been doing the pushing and saying, you know, oh, well, your year at Nen's only a short time. Once that's over, you'll be able to go really super places. You'll really be able to size up what there is and you can go and spend your degree time in London or somewhere really nice. And he sort of says, well, I should like to stay in the area. He's so unadventurous, incredibly... Well, he's a very mature sort of boy, but it's not just that. He's just too sensible, really.
Yeah. Well, really, to go on to do a degree, you need a good grade at A-level. And then any other A-levels or O-levels you have are sort of extra.
So where would you hope to go after the foundation?
I'm not really sure. I got a lot of prospectuses and sort of had a look at them, but I don't really know where I want to go yet. That's sort of something to decide next year in the foundation course.
Revision is over. Exams are about to begin. For Matthew, Yvette and Colin, their education is about to be judged by their performance over the next 2 weeks.
I get the best results on this one, mate. Not my fault, I'm a total genius, you see.
Send him to the back. I'm always at the back.
Right to the very back.
Gets him out the way,
Matthew.
I'm always at the back.
Can you put Matthew in the next lab, please?
I would like to.
Anywhere.
Good. Sit in the front.
Have you got your pen?
Yeah, I use a glove knot, Simon.
should have been negative for it too. Did you get the negative?
Do you get it all finished all in time?
That's doing the graph. Did you see when you check your temperature though? Didn't you just fill your beaker up and then put your thermometer straight in the beaker? You do it that way. That's what I did. You could.
Where did you put your rubber bands? What height?
17 and 2. It's far apart.
I had a difference of 10 because I left enough room for the oil to flow out at the bottom so you could read it with a thermometer.
Alfred's going to give us those sheets back.
While Matthew and Yvette continue to take theoretical and practical exams in physics and chemistry, Colin starts his art exam. Over the next 3 days, in 14 hours, he must produce a finished artwork to a specific brief with specific materials.
Am I going first or? You had to hear the door.
Candidate's name, etc., etc. on that. So if you do that first, I won't start until some of the noise has died down outside.
Right, start when you like. Got any problems? Stick your hand up, ask me. Don't go bantering around to other people.
Papers. Without the papers.
It's only 2 hours, isn't it?
Hope so. I'll be out by 3 o'clock, a bit of Start tapping my feet with the drumming practice.
And then we'll go with the sheet which one and Alice there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. French, then, yeah? Right, well, yeah.
5. Yes,
Time for the long walk up the shop there.
Three days later, the work is completed. Too late for advice, Colin can only seek reassurance from his art teacher.
Yeah, that was enough. Yes, it's just taking it back in again, hasn't it? I should think you ought to be very happy with that.
I don't think there's anything else.
I don't think so, because I think if you start worrying at it, you might go... I mean, there's got to be a stage where you say, I've finished, isn't there? I'm ever so happy about that composition. Worth an A grade, actually.
We can see.
Right. Okay. Signal.
The first week is over. Before the weekend's relaxation, Matthew attends the interview which Kingswood has arranged for him at the local careers office.
Now, obviously, you've got the O-level base to sort of start from, and hopefully you're going to pick up at least one of your A-levels to work on from there as well. Now, the two main subjects that most firms will be likely to look at will be your maths and your physics. All right, but unfortunately, they're going to look at your maths as well. Now, you say you don't think you've got much chance of passing it. I mean, do you think, what sort of grade do you reckon you might get?
Well, talking really about O or E at the very best. It's that bad.
What about any other areas of work?
Well, I'm prepared to do virtually anything.
What would you cover in that?
Well, it's hard to say really. Anything technical, any technical work at all. Laboratory work, research. But then again, I'm not turning my nose up at any other job, clerical, if it's something within my qualifications.
The day of your last exam is your last day in school, so...
I'd like to make a living doing what I enjoy most, and that is in music. I'd like to earn money from music. I've been playing a guitar now for, what, 2 years, and I feel confident on the instrument, and I've always had an interest in music. And I play other things, piano, drums, whatever. I would like to become a professional musician, preferably working as part of a unit, a group.
Having me again. stuck in the middle. Well, what he does anyway.
Monday morning. Before exams recommence, Matthew reports to the head of careers, Bert Webb.
I told her I was willing to do anything, and she understood that.
Yeah.
And she's going to give me a ring up. She's going to phone me up, I think, if anything comes up.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going up there tomorrow. I'll have another chat with her and find out, you know, what she might be more realistic. I mean, she wouldn't want to dampen your hopes or anything like that. But I'll find out what the actual chances are. I mean, I think that they're more hopeful than you probably think they are, because you are a bit of an unusual case.
Maths A-level. The final exam for all 3 candidates. Through pre-exam nerves or through simple exhaustion, Yvette has apparently overslept. Chemistry teacher Dave Drake sets out to find her. Whatever happens, the school must start the exam within 30 minutes.
Yes, many people are out.
Morning.
You're doing it for him? What do we do now?
Well, Dave Drake has gone off in the car. Drag her out of bed if necessary.
Could be lucky, don't it?
Face down. Right, you may start.
Exams are over. For Matthew, Yvette and Colin, it's the end of their school careers. All they can do now is wait.
Good luck, Yvette.
Didn't say it. Work hard.
Work hard. Go on.
Not until August, the middle of the school holidays, will the results arrive.
You're the headmaster, take these off me.
Anything else? I don't know. I've no idea. That's the AB, you know, they don't affect you, don't they?
I don't really, but I will.
Might as well.
There's some kids out there, aren't
Yeah. Early.
you. Ian Wright. You've got an E in history. Who's that? Andrew Wright. Sorry, it's the right. R-E. Who's that with an E?
Well, look, if I get the slips ready for the kids, you want to have a look?
Oh, that's good. That girl from Pope John got an E in the end. I thought she was going to fail. Colin. Crikey. DDC. That's all right.
Better in maths than art.
Yeah, that's incredible, isn't it?
Who's that?
Robert Alfano. A in English. A in geography. 3 A's.
3 A's. Oh, great.
That's
And special English. Robert got 3 A's.
Andrew Ashford's got 2 A's. That'll annoy you, Dave.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, well.
2 A's and a C.
God, there's another 3A there.
Oh, who's that? Ian Green, 3 A's.
Oh, good. Oh, lovely.
You've had 2 D's and a C.
Shanker didn't do badly.
Just scraped her history.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cherry Haig. Oh, B and an E. That's not bad for Cherry Haig. We got a lot of A's this time anyway.
Oh, look, Paul
Andrew
King,
King, 3 A's. Paul King, Dave.
3 A's, Paul King.
Yeah. And Ian Green. Stephen Lynch, E. Not too good. Ordinary level. 2 E's and an ordinary level. McKinnis got an E in physics. Dave.
What do you get in maths?
Ordinary level pass. That's not bad. That justifies it, I suppose.
Yeah. You're quiet, Gordon.
Didn't go all through the Chris Sawyer, that's what.
Fair enough. What was Grace like?
Matthew failed chemistry, failed maths, O-level pass in physics. That's what he sort of deserved, I suppose.
You're going to hide it.
What? You got some cyclical obedience and aggressive thing?
They have this, they got all their friends like, they all go to conferences or something like that, or Christmas season, so it's This is rather good. I'm not
Georgia. Maths, physics, chemistry, B and 2 C's.
How about 2 A's and a C?
What?
It's great. Smash it. Tremendous.
I can't believe it.
Tremendous. Well done, my son. What did you need, Ian?
B and C.
I know all you got with 3 A's. Congratulations, they're superb. Marvellous.
Thanks,
you may have the rest of the day off. That's great. Well done.
I shall. Thanks a lot.
Tremendous. It's a good news day. She's not taking already.
No, we will for her to come up because she's working elsewhere.
I'll have a look. I'll put it in the post. Okay.
Is that mine?
Yeah, you got no in physics and failed the term, I'm afraid.
Bad.
No, get them then. No, I'm not.
Matthew's stumming up a bit.
Always hurts less when you don't care.
I know. Look at you. Oh, please. You've got to.
No, I've got mine.
Please
It's got my number on it.
Matthew left Corby. He's now working as a sales and installation assistant for a commercial deep freeze manufacturer in Bournemouth.
Get down. You can have a look. What did you get? I'm going to look it up. Oh, what did you get? I'll tell you in a minute. Oh, Jenny! Chippy.
Oh.
Hi, Carl.
My results.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise, I'm afraid. Do you not?
Oh, blimey.
C and 2Ds. What were you expecting, was it? Very strange, that, because they're, you know, both Mrs. Wyke and Triangle were tipping you to get an A there. Very strange.
It's not very good at all. I passed my English. I didn't expect to pass.
Yeah, I mean,
that.
good words. It's only the arts, isn't it? I mean, the other two, I mean, the maths is quite reasonable, but it's good. And as you said, English you could have struggled with. But art's very surprising. I mean, to pick up your worst result on your subject that is by far your strongest is strange. I don't know. Anyhow, I'll have a chat with Mrs. Wyke about it, see what she says. Luckily, you don't need anything anyway, do you? I mean, you're quite settled.
No.
Yeah, what's his name? The 2 forwards looking squad.
Kingswood did in fact query Colin's Art A-level result. The examination board accepted the criticism and Colin was regraded. He's now on a degree course at Hull School of Art.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. We're going to look for a goalkeeper, aren't we, at the start of the season? Really?
2 Bs and a C.
Oh, so she's all right. Judy Brandy, nursing, Carol Dent. No, Yvette is a bad one.
Yvette's a disaster.
BCC, and she hasn't done that, has she?
That's right. C and 2Ds.
I suppose we could try our luck, couldn't we?
No, not for medicine, you won't.
No, Dashenka.
Well, you passed, but you didn't get the grades on, Fred. You wanted.
The others were quite good, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult until you really analyse them, and some of them were exceptional, but, you know, there's some disappointments as well. 6 one after the other, really. What now?
Think about that one.
Do you want to have a chat, or do you want to go anything about?
You'll be in on Monday, won't you? But
I want to, well,
yeah.
It's probably as well to leave it, actually.
We can go through all possibilities on Monday if you want.
Yeah.
All the alternatives that there are.
Okay then.
All right.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Got one,
I got mine. Soon 2 things.
Will you get in?
Not on that.
What are you doing now? You going back to work? You going home?
Yvette did return to Kingswood. She did get 2 Bs and a C. She's now at university. Last year, more than 200 pupils left Kingswood. 97% left with academic qualifications, A-levels, O-levels or CSE. 25% went on to some form of further education. But more than half the school leavers in the Corby-Oundle area have yet to find permanent jobs.
This generation of children is infinitely, immeasurably out of sight better informed and educated than their parents were, which is the achievement of the comprehensive system, of course, because it used to be the case. It's been static for a century. Now look at the explosion. Anybody who doubts that wants to come and try any O-level paper for themselves. You know, anybody's educated 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and see how they get on with it. You know, the actual standards are higher beyond reach than they were in the past. You know, it's indubitably for the mass of the vast mass of the people. Now that's got to be a good thing. I mean, that must in the end be a good thing.